Yeah, welcome for having me here. Thank you. We are going to split this presentation in two parts. I thought it's a good idea to talk just with about, a couple of slides, who we are, where we are coming from, and then I'm asking my colleague Alex to do the real interesting part, and this is all about our new introduced DataCore CSP program. Having said that, in 1998 we had an interesting idea. We thought virtualizing storage is cool technology. So we have been one of the first companies worldwide actually introducing the idea of virtualized storage. And it took us about 10 years to get this on the ground. We have been just far too early, and with the introduction of VMware actually and virtualizing servers, the idea of virtualizing storage was much easier to explain to people. But basically what we are claiming is that because we are one of really two pure software related storage virtualization companies, we're having like a little bit of authority doing this since more than 20 years now. And after 20 years claiming that you have 10,000 happy customers or more than 10,000 happy customers and maybe 25 or 30,000 deployments is not that bad. We are still private owned, which is really great because you can do a lot of things very easy rather than having a monolithic company where you need to have 25 approvals to get something done. And having said that, we decided actually a couple of years ago to introduce a CSP program, which was not really the right one in terms of how we are going to measure things and how we are going to charge customers. And all of that has been changed now as the whole company changed. We have been for years actually very focused on doing pure storage virtualization, introducing HCI. We called it at this time Sound Melody in a Box. Now everyone is talking about hyperconverged infrastructure as well as talking about SDS solutions. When you look back in 2000, we released a product was called SDS. Very interesting that this naming just got introduced 3 years ago. So the hype is there, and we believe with the solutions we can provide, especially in the CSP area, by introducing a unique way to not only leveraging what you have, but also leveraging what you had in the past is a very interesting approach. As I said, 20 years already, and we hope for another 20 years as a minimum. Having said that, Alex?
I give it a go.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, let me see. What do I have on the table for you? Just imagine when you're building a cloud infrastructure to serve storage to your customers as a storage as a service delivery architect. That you will be able to sell your storage assets multiple times because your dear users will purchase a given storage capacity, but they don't use it. And you have all that assets there, and why not sell it twice or 3 times? Because nobody is using it while they all claim it. Or that you could take new storage architectures to get it rolled in on the fly and keep the data living and moving from one old infrastructure to a new without your customers even recognizing it. Or take whatever storage that you like, but keep the same SLA all over the time. Or migrate your data, your customers' data, from one storage stack to the next without even them recognizing it, and just keep the SLA running with no downtime. Imagine. Sounds too good to be true? Would you love it? Would you like to have something like that? Actually, that's what we deliver. So what is needed to make this a reality is a real independent software-defined storage stack that decouples any data service that you require and allow it to be integrated with your upstream applications on a persistent way, independent of what hardware you're using and how new technologies arrive and how they disappear. Just keep going, terminate all your services in an ever-enduring service layer and roll in and roll out hardware, because in the cloud business, nobody knows that hardware is running underneath it, and nobody cares that hardware is underneath it. They just purchase a service. And your customers don't tolerate that you have to roll in and to have to roll out physical components. They just have the imagination. It lives there. It is there. But we all know, as we are running such businesses, that there is hardware, that there is real bare metal that provides all those services, right? So the way you can do this is really by decoupling all the services from the physical boundary that you have, that you're forced to roll in and to roll out from your data center. And to be fair, because you never know how your business grows and reduces, how it swings, fair it would be that you only pay what you actually use, that you don't pay what you have sold. You only pay what you use on a per time frame basis. And the payment that you have to do grows and shrinks exactly with your business. And you'd never overpay anything. So pay what you use. And this is what we do. And as Christian already explained, the core that we have is this software-defined storage stack that is providing capabilities to have full business continuity, keep it running, 100% uptime, give you best-of-breed performance, because we currently own the fastest available software stack. And if you apply it to ever new hardware, you always have the guarantee to run at top performance if it's required. And you're able to strip down if you don't want to show it to your customers. So you always have the ability to limit on a quality of service fashion that you don't provide more than that you actually want to provide, because the customer doesn't pay for it. You have a uniform management, a uniform services layer. All your services can terminate in and keep on running. You have your structures, your processes don't need to change as you get new hardware rolled in and out. You keep on with the same structure for all your daily operation. Does not change whenever you have a hardware change. And you have the full freedom of choice, because you can take any storage component that you currently find on that planet, including any new storage technology that arrives in the future. So currently, it's NVMe, it's Optane. Nobody knows what will be the next high-performance technology that's coming up, but be sure you can use it with the stack that we provide, and that decouples your data services from the actual hardware boundary. And since this is living there in the middle, you can seamlessly transition all your valuable data assets of the customers that you protect from one hardware layer to the next, as they appear and as they disappear. All up to you. So what we currently provide is the capability to serve persistent storage assets to bare metal machines, if you have them, if you provide them in terms of a housing capability or hosting capability. It could go to any type of virtual machine, and it's full container aware. So if you run a Docker, Swarm, or Kubernetes environment, just plug it in, and you're able to provide storage persistent persistent volume claims to your containers. Because, containers are cool. And the cool thing is, if something goes wrong, it just started. And it forgot what went wrong. It just comes up immaculate, newly running, cool. But if you do this for an Oracle database, if the Oracle database is empty on every restart, that's crap. Yeah? So you need to have persistent storage services, even with the new world of containers. And this is what we deliver. And you can use any technology you're currently having. So if you will use Fiber Channel, if you use iSCSI, if you want to go with a file system, use it. Yeah? Regardless what your storage components are, because you can incorporate whatever storage protocol and form factor and physical device that you have into that stack. We are even supporting any type of array. You could use RAID controllers. We don't care. If it's storage, we take it. Yeah? You could even cross-connect to other clouds. So you could, for example, take something from an S3 architecture, plug it in via a cloud access gateway, and use it and keep on providing it to your applications. This is all incorporated into a central data service layer, and we provide all that services that you see up there across all your storage capacities. So there is no extra tiny bitty, nitty-bitty licensing needed. It's all in. So when you enable that service, you have all that available to all your storage assets, and you can provide it to all your applications that you're giving out to your customers. And then you have the full-fledged way of operating it and control it. Full command control stack, use REST APIs, use PowerShell if you love to talk in a Windows environment, use all sorts of plugins into hypervisors or into containers. And then if you love to move around with the mouse and do clickety-click, yeah, there's also a nice UI. So you can do it all, and it all bundles up to that cool delivered stack. Yeah, uniform management for any storage asset that you have over longer lifetime, so never a problem how hardware comes and goes. This service stays alive. And to be fair, we take it up into a subscription model. And this is very simple. You just use it, and as you allocate storage capacity in the system, we detect the actual use. So if you provide 100 terabytes to your customers, but only 10 terabytes are used up by active data assets, we only charge you for the value of 10 terabytes, nothing more. It's full trim aware, so if your customers are deleting data, we recognize this. We reduce what we charge, depending on how your applications and your users are really using the data. And you usually charge on the storage that you provide to them, the capability that they have. But if they do nothing with it, you don't have to pay anything to us. If they do a lot, you charge a lot, and we get a little bit more. That's all. Yeah? It scales gradually up or down as your business moves. So if you have less customers signing up, by nature, less data will be allocated. You pay less to us. If your business is growing and you earn a lot of money, a hell of money, we take a little share of it, and you're still happy to pay because there's no upfront payment needed. It just works along with your business. And since this is not a CapEx model, so not binding any money, any investment, it's all OpEx, it's also very interesting from the fiscal side of it, because you don't need to bind that valuable money. You can invest it somewhere else where it makes more sense. It's very, very fair because we track it on an hourly base. We check how much you use, and we combine it on a monthly charge. You need to run this on a yearly contract that automatically renews, includes all our support that we have, and the tracking actually is based on this model that you see here. So as you grow and shrink, we see the average consumption. Then we put what we call the standard deviation on top, so there's a little uplift, but it's still less than the peak capacity, and you start consuming. And the more you consume, the less you pay per terabyte. And we start at a very interesting price point of $5 per month per terabyte. Very, very fair, very easy entry. And as you are successful, we get a little share. That's all of it. So putting it all together, in a nutshell, buy once, sell multiple times. It's a dream come true. If you bought your storage asset, why don't sell it twice or three times if nobody is using it? It's like an airplane. If you fly, do you think they keep your seat No, the seat is overbooked. And if somebody does not appear, they sell it again. They sell it again and again and again. And in the end, they make money. So you do the same. Just get money out of doing it smart. The whole thing is very fair. If you don't use it, you don't pay anything. If you use it, we get a little bit. And since we decouple the service layer from the actual hardware, use new hardware as you need it. As you want to bring in new services, as if you want to bring new SLAs, just do it and use the new technology as it arrives. Don't wait for it to be ready, because we make it ready. We make it ready to be consumed by any application that you have. But you can also be very cost sensitive there, because we have a very wide variety of compatibility. So if you want to use the cheaper stuff, why not use refurbished storage that is maybe 5, 6 years old, but still good enough? Put it in there for a low SLA, no problem. Build your own storage, use white box components. You have a lot of providers out there. Yeah? You can just use them and put them under our control, and it's an enterprise top-level SLA storage device. It's at the same level as all the A brands. Even if you have C or D brand hardware in it, we don't care. It just works. And if one component fails, we allow you to have full redundancy, fail over to the rest of the components. Just keep on running. So, and finally, it's absolutely non-disruptive on any change that you do. So you can keep up the SLAs as you roll hardware in and out. Because we all know, and I repeat myself, I don't know how many times, even in the cloud, everything needs to run on hardware. Some iron is there, and you need to control it. Yeah, and with this, thank you for your attention, and enjoy the rest of CloudFest.